welcome. It's Jillian from JillyBean Pottery, and I'm here today to walk you through a quick and easy project that anyone can do from anywhere with very little tools. What you're going to need for this project: some clay, and this is a mug project, but you can do this with air dry clay, so just to get the juices, creative juices flowing, and for kids, the fine motor skill workout, you can, it just won't be functional. So just know, not a problem, any kind of clay will work. You probably need about 1 to 2 pounds maximum per person, okay? You're also gonna need hands, because this is a pinch pot project. 2, you're gonna need a wooden spoon or a paddle, okay? You're gonna need a paring knife or a plastic knife, which of course I have moved, or a skewer. You can use that as well. You will need something to score the clay with. You can use a fork or a needle tool, either is fine. You'll need a bowl with some water and a paintbrush. You'll need some newspaper and another bowl, small bowl, not too big, and probably some newspaper and a board to put down in your work area or canvas. Okay, so let's start. This is a very simple project. This first part, you're going to take a ball of clay, and it shouldn't be very big. You can see mine is quite small. And we're going to just, with our hands, pinch pots are very fun and easy. And if you're just starting to learn clay, this is a great place to start. And if this is all you do and practice, not a problem. Come back later and try the second portion of the project. Okay, so we're going to start this. I'm just going to move. I have a thing in front so you can see what I'm doing when I go to assemble. Okay, so once you have this, you're going to take your thumb and you're going to stick it in, okay? And we're going to be making a pinching motion like this. So our thumb is on the inside, our fingers are on the outside, and we're going to pinch, turn, all the way around and keep going. What you want to remember with pinch pots is that you want to first get to the bottom, okay? It's really easy to thin the walls and not the bottom, and if you want to get it as evenly thick as possible. So if it's thin in one spot and thick in another, that's not even. So it doesn't matter how thick it is, doesn't matter if it's a clunky mug, what matters is that it's an even thickness. So what I like to do is, after I kind of get it opened up, is I take both hands, thumbs on the inside, and I do the bottom. So that this part here, and same thing, pinch, and I'm pinching with both at the same time. I know you can't see that, but that's important because it squeezes the clay more evenly, okay? And this is very much a great project to start with because it allows you to feel the clay and how thin and thick it is, okay? As you go around and after you've gone the bottom, you're gonna wanna go ahead and keep working on the walls, okay? And go ahead and keep expanding out. Don't worry if it cracks like that. That's the beauty of pinch pots. They're supposed to crack. Don't worry, we won't see that at the end. Okay. So we're just pinching, we're double checking all of our little parts. And you want to think little bit a bowl, okay? Little tiny bowl. Sometimes we pinch and it's flat, which is okay. It's just a slab, not a little bowl. And when you're doing that, if you find yourself doing that, start over, no big deal. It's just clay. And think about pinching in. So instead of pinching out to open, that's how sometimes we go flat. Think pinching in and you'll naturally go out. So it's okay. Just worry and check. Okay, so once you have an approximately even thickness, it's going to be approximate, even mine is not perfect. If I could pass it around and let you feel it, you would see. We're going to take our small bowl and a piece of newspaper. I'm going to wrap our bowl. This is just to protect the bowl and help us release the clay, okay? So we're going to put the bowl down. We're going to put our pinch pot on top, and this is why it should be a small bowl. So don't use something too large, something small, okay? And we're going to gently press down to flatten. I know you're like, oh, after all of that, I'm not flattening, now we're flattening. We're flattening a little bit the clay to the bowl. And then we're gonna take our wooden spoon, and this is the part that kids love. We're gonna paddle. Okay, so I'm gonna lift my bowl up. I'm just gonna paddle. Okay, so now I have this nice little, see it's still rounded, nice little bowl. It's even consistency and nice and flat. I'm just gonna put this to the side. Now, if you're new to clay or you have kids and this is, might get too complicated for them, not a problem. You can stop after step 1 of just pinching the little bowls and make a bunch of little bowls, okay? If it's air dry clay, give it about 24 to 48 hours to dry and you can paint it and decorate it and they'll be beautiful, okay? They'll be hard as a rock, trust me. They'll last forever until they get wet. Don't let them get wet. So, but you can paint them, not a problem. If you want to go to like a little dish like this, again, not a problem. You can press things into the clay and decorate them. If you'd like to go mug, next part. Okay, so this is a huge chunk of clay. Okay, you'll notice we started with something small. It's a huge chunk of clay and you can see that it's solid. Okay, so it's like a nice little lug of clay. And now I've spent some time prior to this, because it would have taken a little too long on the video, kind of putting this into a rough cylinder of clay. Okay, and we're gonna pinch it into the body of our mug. This little bowl that we put to the side is actually the bottom, and this is the body of the mug. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, so don't worry, okay? You're letting the bottom dry up. You do want to do that first because it needs to set up just a little bit, okay? And help hold its shape. So that's why we got it on the bowl on the newspaper. Now, we're gonna take this, and if this takes you longer than you think, you can cover that with plastic, garbage bag, or plastic bag just to protect it, but it should be okay. Okay, so here we go. Thumb, we're gonna stick it in as far as you can, as far as you can. Okay, and the same pinching motion, it's not gonna go very far. It's gonna maybe go to like here. It's okay, no worries. Okay, we're gonna pinch, and we're gonna go around, round and around and around and around and around and around. And if something like this happens, it's okay. Just pinch it together. You might trim it later, smooth the clay together. No big deal. Okay, pinch it around. This is going to be a bigger chunk of clay. It might be a little harder on little hands. So if you're a parent, use your best judgment and adjust the sizes of this chunk of clay, okay? Little hands will find it easiest to use softest clay possible and smaller chunks. For adults, this is like one of my favorite coffee mugs, okay? Go for it, okay? Depending on how big you want your mug. It is gonna shrink in firing if you're firing this piece, so just be aware of that. Okay, so you can see I've gotten it open, and that's it. I'm gonna do this side. Same thing, I'm gonna stick my thumb in as far as I can. It might not go all the way through. That's okay, okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing. Pinch and pinch and pinch and pinch. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a little goofy, so I apologize. My teaching style is one of joy and fun. Okay, so all right. You can switch fingers if your fingers get tired. Sometimes my fingers get tired. All right, so you can see I have a nice pinch here, a nice pinch here. It kind of looks kind of fun here. And you can see I haven't gone all the way through. Mine is too big, so I'm gonna put both fingers in, thumbs, and I'm gonna force my way through. And the same thing, now I'm gonna use both because it's kind of at the edges of what I can get comfortably with one thumb and finger grouping. So I'm gonna do both, okay? And I'm just gonna pinch around and around. And again, what I'm going for, just like with the bowl, I'm going for even wall thickness, okay? So once I get it, all the way through, you can see it's a little thick. So now I'm gonna work on thinning it, okay? And when I'm thinning, I can go in two directions. I can widen or I can lengthen, okay? So it's up to you what you do. I think I'm gonna do widening. Widening might be easier. So to widen, you're going to just keep pinching. You're gonna start at the middle. Think of this middle like the bottom of the bowl. We have to do it first because it's the furthest away from our hands, okay? And you can rest it down if you need to on a board. Okay. So I'm pinching, just pinching it thinner, okay? Just pinching it thinner. I don't want this mug to be so heavy I can't lift it, you know? Drop hot tea. And as you're pinching, You'll see now that my middle is getting a little bit thicker than those edges. And I'm going to go a little bit out and the same thing. Pinch. And again. And if there's clay that I'm moving it out to the ends. Don't worry if the ends aren't even. They will be. We'll trim them down. Okay. Just keep going. And as you're doing this, you're gonna feel. You're gonna start to get a feel the more you do it. It's very meditative. And this is a great thing, I think, actually, for this time of quarantine and stay at home. It's very meditative, and you can get lost in the feel of how it feels between your fingers, and you'll start to be able to see, is this thick, is this thin, and more importantly, you'll start to how even it is, and you'll feel those nuances the more you do it. So I'm just going to expand out another layer and keep going. You'll see I'm widening, but I'm also lengthening up. So any clay that I'm moving away, I'm kind of pushing, pulling out. So I'm doing both. Okay. And just keep going. You reach the end. And you'll see that I'm resting this. I have what you don't see is I have a bowl with a board on it because my video microphone isn't the greatest, so this is kind of how I can talk to you guys and with my current setup. So, okay. So once you have that, this has got a great shape. I don't know if you can see. It's got this great, shape to it. I love this. You're going to pick a direction, okay? You're going to pick a direction, and you can go through another way to pinch. You can take your hand like this and your hand like this and pinch this way. I'm cheating. I didn't tell you guys I have a lazy Susan. So feel free to use a lazy Susan. You're just slowly turn it and pinch this way too. You're just pinching like this. Okay, so once you have your piece, then you're going to decide which is the top and which is the bottom. And I kind of think I like this top up here. I like this organic lip up here, kind of being uneven. And this one is a little bit more flat, and so whatever you pick as your bottom needs to be a little flat so it stands. Now if you have anything like this, I don't know if you can see that, this rip here, you're just going to take it and pinch it together, or you're going to take your paring knife or your plastic knife or a pin tool or something, and you're just going to trim it off. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to trim that little bit off. I'm just going to make a nice flat cut. You can use the plastic knife for this. Right, for those parents at home who have kids who can't be trusted with real knives, no worries, the plastic knife works just fine. Okay. Just take that off. Alright. I have a similar spot up here. Okay. You can see my mug is a little bit uneven, and I kind of like, because it's a pinch pot, so you see all the pinch marks and things. You should, okay? It's a pinch pot, and you can absolutely spend so much time smoothing this and making it pretty. You can take texture tools that you find at home, like a juicer, and press designs into the edge. But, the beauty sometimes of clay is that maker's mark, and seeing that, little touch. These are your kids' fingerprints. These are your fingerprints. These are whoever's fingerprints, and for those of you who don't have kids and are like, I just want to do this for myself, totally cool. I love making pinch pop mugs personally. You know, I find them very meditative and great, and this is a serious mug, guys. It's gonna hold probably about 12 ounces. It's a beer, you know. Chocolate milk for those in the back who are upset by that, you know. Now you can also do, so, you know, don't worry about that, but I kind of like that, you know, unevenness element to it, so I'm going to keep mine, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to marry the two together, and I'm going to do that in another video because this one's getting a little bit long, so this is part 1. Part 2 is coming up soon. Thanks for joining.